Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to UBC News tonight. My name is Micheal Lukomwa. Elizabeth Nakakoni joins in for sign language interpretation, and we'll go straight away to what we have for you this evening. East African community leaders gathered today at the State House in Nairobi to formally endorse former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga as a candidate for chairperson of the African Union Commission. This event marks the beginning of Odinga's campaign for the February 2025 elections, where he aims to succeed Musa Faki Mahamat. President William Ruto led the endorsement event at State House, Nairobi, hosting East African Community Chairman President Salva Kiir, President Yoweri Museveni, and President Samia Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania. Also in attendance were Burundi Prime Minister Gervais Ndirakobucha, Rwanda State Minister for Foreign Affairs James Kabarebe, former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete, and former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, among other dignitaries. President Ruto praised Raila Odinga as a passionate Pan-Africanist who has demonstrated strong faith in Africa's potential and a remarkable commitment to laying the foundation for Africa transformation. President Museveni expressed Uganda's support for Odinga's candidacy, and noting the role of the African Union chairperson requires vision, knowledge, and conviction, qualities that Odinga possesses. Odinga in turn pledged to advocate for the abolition of visas for intra-Africa travels and the removal of trade barriers, outlining his vision of a united continent characterized by peace and prosperity for all.
The launch of what are you going to? Now the African Union is a crucial point, because as the Right Honorable Odinga was saying, it is the one which can enable us to negotiate together, to put pressure on those other groups, Wazungu, Wahindi, China, America, to negotiate with them. And I am here to support the candidature of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga on behalf of Uganda, because he is a convinced Pan-Africanist. He's not just mtafuta kazi. There is a job, I apply for it. This is not career progression. It is not adding to your CV, this one. No, this is in the army. When we are doing our other ritual work of sorting out some issues, there is somebody who is in front of the section. We call him a pointsman. So we are now looking for a pointsman, the one to lead us in that big battle of prosperity. In order to ensure prosperity for Africa, you need patriotism in each country and Pan-Africanism in the whole of Africa. And so on. So therefore, leadership should be part of the socio-economic medicine to analyze what our societies lack and provide a diagnosis.
President Yoweri Museveni there conveying Uganda's support for Right Honorable Raila Odinga's candidature for the elections of the African Union Chairperson 2025. Uganda's Prime Minister Robin Nabanja has delivered an official message from President Yoweri Museveni to Tonga's Prime Minister Siyoasi Sovaleni. Nabanja stated that the president emphasized the importance of full cooperation between the two countries to address common issues affecting them.
Today, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja held bilateral talks with her counterpart of Tonga, Siyasosi Sovereign. The two leaders emphasized the need to fully cooperate in order to deal with the common problems that are affecting them.
Museveni is the chairperson of landslide movement, the group of 77 plus China. And so what use this office as chair to mobilize other global developing countries so that we can move as a team to face this reality. That we borrow money to work on our roads, but before the road can even spend 1 year, because of global warming and because of floods, the roads are washed out.
Nabanja is in Tonga to join other leaders for the 53rd Pacific Island Forum Leaders Meeting.
We have poverty, Uganda and Tonga, both have poor people. And so eradicating poverty is a must globally. When we talk about SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals.
Tonga is an island state in the Southern Pacific with a population of about 100,000 people.
We have sea level rise, we have more frequent cyclones, and they are becoming stronger. Yes, we have earthquake, we have volcano, so we have a whole range.
The Tonga Prime Minister says his government is now focusing on fighting poverty among his people.
Poverty reduction, I think it's something common to us, developing and least developing countries. And that's something that we're paying special attention to, because with the adverse impact of climate change,
the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, together with her Tonga Prime Minister counterpart, launched a traditional trade fair showcasing the culture of the Tonga people.
It's for the ladies to wear for the trades or everything here. Not only that, but we have the awala. That's what we're doing is we're using our hand to weave this one. It's no one needle or everything. It's only our hand can do our sewing this one.
The history of the Tonga people shows that the Kingdom of Tonga started in 1875 and they were never colonized.
The president was so categorical, but we need to work as a team. I can see what we are going through is what you are also going through here. I request that you visit Uganda. It's a date I've given you. I request you to pay.
We concur with you that peace is essential and a key ingredient, if I may say so.
Jingo Francis reporting from Tonga.
Members of Parliament hailing from Acholi sub-region have insisted on a reversal and amendment of the order paper to focus on issues affecting the region where the sittings will take place. The call was made ahead of the regional parliamentary sitting in Gulu City starting on the 28th of August, which is tomorrow, at Kaunda grounds. The practice has been the Business Committee of Parliament, chaired by the Speaker, sits every morning to ascertain what should be included on the order paper, which is normally influenced by matters of priority. They also focus on reports from sectoral and standing committees, ministerial statements responding to matters raised on the floor of Parliament, and Prime Minister's question and answer session held every Thursday. The legislators want the people of Acholi to embrace the opportunity as the first of its kind regional parliamentary sitting to address pressing issues in the regions of Acholi, Karamoja, Lango, and West Nile.
Arrest the youth, the noob youth. So that was uncalled for, and I pray that for the peaceful sitting of our people in Acholi, let all those youth be released immediately. They have done no wrong, and I see no problem at all. And let people's view be accommodated. The speaker should have paid a courtesy call to the Bishop of the Anglican, the Catholic, from Lango, West Nile, and actually let the Right Honourable Speaker and the government have the clear pictures of the problems being affecting the people of northern Uganda. I pray that he should pay those visits.
It is beyond the activities for a quarter. So the whole of this quarter has been focused on work. Work is West Nile, Acholi, Lao, and Karamoja. So when you ask me about the order paper, what I'm consulting now with the Speaker and also with the Clerk to Parliament, the issues that people have been raising in West Nile, in Acholi, in Lango, and in Karamoja are too many that you cannot accommodate them in the order paper. The best to do that I want to have in this meeting at 3 p.m. is to make sure that they should give us time day one for Karamoja, Acholi, Lango, and West Nile to raise their issues in the sub-regions that has been there and not answered, and those that have just come now. That would be very good if we are given that time, day one. And then day two is when we can receive the committee's report.
Some few days back, Kiteezi was also convicted by Ugandan courts right here in Gulu. And the victims of Kiteezi are not going to be compensated. So, the decision by the ICC and the Ugandan justice system is going to bring confusion in this country. Those who are not going to be compensated, they are going to feel annoyed. And we feel that this government must have to develop some kind of trust fund, transitional trust fund, money to be, actually, government must look for money to make a comprehensive compensation for all those who have been affected by wars, by violence in this country. And I think there is need for special attention to be taken by the Minister of Health regarding the issue of mental challenges in northern Uganda. Another issue is the forgotten children, the northern children. They have for sure been forgotten by the government of Uganda.
And what I wonder that the first regional sitting is coming to Gulu and to Acholi region in particular. So let's embrace this. This will give us the opportunity to, first of all, showcase our preparedness as the people of, northern region. We have so many issues as the people of Acholi that has been attended to. So if the issue of Acholi warded claimants can be handled once and for all, these claimants should be paid. They should reap from what they lost during the insurgency. To me as a leader, that will melt my heart with joy.
Members of Parliament from northern Uganda. Now, members of Parliament that will participate in the regional parliamentary sittings have set off to Gulu City, where the 4 regional sittings will be hosted. The MPs said these sessions will enhance development and drive economic transformation in the northern region.
The last group of MPs has left Kampala to participate in the regional plenary sittings in Gulu. They were transported in a parliamentary fleet. The MPs say regional sittings will address issues related to education, security and cattle rustling in the northern region.
To legislate is about the roads, development generally, agriculture, water for production, and many other things that we are going to see. And of course, Parliament had gone to do the oversight, and they have got the real issues of Karamoja.
Has suffered a lot of insecurity for a while, for many years. Our interest is how to sustain the security that has been attained, how to sustain peace, so that we don't see episodes of insecurity again, as you're aware.
Of roads, to look at issues of bridges, all issues like in northern Uganda, their government pledged to compensate the people who lost their cattle during war, who lost their cattle during cattle rationing. So we have discovered, we had the baraza, committee barazas.
We appropriate a lot of money here for NUSAF. That NUSAF gets a lot of money, in billions. We want to go and look at that money, what it is doing firsthand. When the MPs are talking, we shall have the opportunity to go where the money is being used.
On allowances, some MPs have confirmed that Parliament allocated 420,000 shillings per DM, while others dismissed the claims as rumours.
Wano inland, batuwa emitwalo 42. Kati batuwadde emitwalo 42. Abagenda n'abatagenda.
Allowance, it is automatic. I don't see any reason why people should get worried about the allowance. It is automatic. Once you don't do government work, that money next month it will be deducted.
Waliwo abantu bayogera, 1 for blackmail, 2 speculation, 3 lamentation.
Some opposition members have boycotted the sitting, while others will attend because the event was sanctioned by the Speaker of Parliament according to their rules of procedure.
These are the people of Gulu won't be given an opportunity to speak out for themselves or to get a microphone to speak on the floor of the Parliament. That is not, it is not in the rules of procedure. So there is no reason why we start organizing such a infrastructure to go to Gulu. They can find us here. There are committees that are operating on that ground.
Basically is the opposition caucus. When it sits and it makes a decision, then the opposition has said so. 1 or 2 people cannot decide for the whole opposition.
Although Parliament approved 20 billion shillings for the regional parliamentary sittings, Mityana South MP Richard Kizito Lumu argues that the opposition should have contested this allocation.
Naye ate baali wano bennyini ne baziyisa. Zino sente zetugenda okukozesa. Ffenna twaziyisa. Singa baali tebakyagala, twandibadde twalwana ku olwo.
I'm Navka Farida and Dan Lukomwa at Parliament.
Still to do with Parliament, Speaker Annette Anita Among has announced that the first regional sitting of the House will be held in Gulu district to honor the memory of her predecessor, the late Right Honorable Jacob Lokori Olanya, who passed away in 2022. The Speaker made this statement while inspecting projects in Omoro district that Olanya left unfinished.
His son, the former Speaker of Parliament, now the late Jacob Olanya, lies to rest. This is a sign of love for the family, and we don't take it for granted that she has chosen to first come to this home to see Mzee, to greet him, and to see how he's living. And so we thank you and commit this short time that she has here into your hands. May you speak to us, and may her visit be a blessing, not only to the family, but to the entire community of Acholi sub-region. We are aware that the Parliament is sitting in Gulu in northern Uganda, and we pray that it will have impact.
That whenever we are going to Gulu, or going this side, wherever we are going, we will always pass by and say hello to the old man. And since you're going to live for another additional 5 years plus, another additional 5 years plus, we will come and celebrate 100 years of Mzee Okori in this home when I'm still the speaker, because I still have another term. But one thing I want to tell the press here, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. The sitting in Gulu Greater North is a normal sitting. Parliament is not a building in Kampala. We can proclaim and sit anywhere in this country, even in the middle of the road. That is what the law says. And bringing Parliament to sit in Gulu is an added advantage to the people of Northern Region. Gulu or Northern Region belongs to Uganda. And because it belongs to Uganda, it must also benefit from what the normal sitting that takes place in Kampala benefits. There are people, members of parliament, who do not know even a road to Gulu. But now this time around, when we are sitting in Gulu, you find all the hotels are full, all the food is being eaten, everything, people are benefiting. But it is also important for us to take parliament to the people. We are elected by the people. So it is just prudent enough for us to take parliament to the people, not always people going to parliament. So that's one of the reasons why we are sitting in Gulu. It is nothing peculiar. It has ever happened and is going to continue happening. Those who are saying they will boycott or whichever, it is going to continue happening until we say stop. Parliament will sit here, it will go to another region, it will go to another, but the first priority was Gulu, for us to recognize that the late Speaker of Parliament came from Gulu. This is in memory of late Olanya. That's why we chose to have the first sitting in Northern Region. I really want to thank you so much.
Right Honorable Speaker Anita Among clearing the air about what is going to happen in Gulu and why. Tree planters under the umbrella group Collaborative Forest Management have commended the National Forestry Authority for revitalizing the Opit Forest Reserve in Oyam district. The group toured the Opit Forest Reserve with members of parliament from the Committee on Natural Resources as part of the activities ahead of the regional parliamentary sittings that will take place in Gulu. Tree planters across the northern region have urged the government to empower the NFA to enhance its service delivery.
The Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources walked approximately 5 kilometers to appreciate the Opit Forest Reserve, a government forest cover in Oyam district managed by the National Forestry Authority. During their visit to Gulu, for the regional sittings, the parliamentary team was joined by tree planters involved in forestry conservation under the Collaborative Forest Management Initiative.
It goes like this?
Yeah, straight there.
So some of the homes are outside?
Yeah, they're outside.
A meeting was held where the tree planters and locals praised the NFA for restoring the forest's former glory.
Moro district has, I think, close to 22,000 hectares of central forest. Out of these, you'll find where there should have been those natural trees, over 80% has been totally degraded. This has happened because NFA cannot go and do their work.
The group urged the MPs to advocate for the empowerment of the NFA and the demarcation of Opit Forest to address issues of encroachment. Moses Muhumuza, the Director of Corporate Affairs at the NFA, was also present during the visit.
We don't have internal boundaries for private tree planters up to now. Since we paid 2018.
Forest boundary may warmer to the one Yomum Peru, Mamir Pedianta.
They have done external boundaries only, but we need internal boundaries for the blocks.
The committee around the forest
realized that and got to know that these forests they are planting for themselves. Before NFA community used to burn these trees, thinking that it's a government land. They didn't know that this was theirs until the NFA came and started teaching them that this forest, you are the one benefiting from it.
Has done a good job. We have toured the forest, and it is also catering for the needs of the community, because we have also been shown some part that is owned by the community. However, that one aside, they have got a challenge, because like the manager was telling us, up to now, they have failed to demarcate the inner boundaries because of lack of money. They even do not have boundary markings like poles. But the challenge that they paid money, which was taken to the consolidated fund. It is my appeal that the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Environment should expedite this, because we have seen much of our land, institutional land, being taken advantage of by some developers. So when it is demarcated and well marked out, that would threaten away the intending schemers who would want to take off our land.
The Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources is chaired by Herbert Ariko, the Member of Parliament for Soroti East. The MPs lauded the community for its conservation efforts, noting that part of the forest had been damaged by the people from IDP camps.
We have listened to the issues you have raised regarding some of the fees that you pay by way of premium for the blocks allocated to you, by way of fees for demarcation of land, by way of some of the other statutory fees, and that you would like to see that when this money is put into the consolidated fund, some of this money is given back to the agency to support you in the work of ensuring that you develop these forests. That we note it as a committee, and we shall ensure that we communicate in Parliament so that Parliament takes a position regarding this matter. And
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gitabinji, UBC News.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondolo. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with Baby Junior jelly.
Though dried their targets and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, Baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love Baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior's the skin. No more worries anymore. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Sometimes the pressure of paying taxes can feel overwhelming. The temptation to cut corners and under-declare your income may creep in. But before you make that choice, consider the cost. Under-declaring taxes might seem like an easy way out, but the consequences can be severe. URA offers resources and payment plans to help you manage your taxes. You can pay in installments if it's difficult to pay in full. Transparency is key. Avoid penalties and unexpected liabilities by reporting everything accurately. To report corruption, call URA on our toll-free lines. Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Stake 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Stake 10. Sports Stake 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
UBC News Tonight. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. Now, former Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Trade, Geraldine Salibusulwa, and 5 other co-accused facing charges of stealing Buyaka Cooperative's money have been charged before the Anti-Corruption Court Division of the High Court. Before Justice Jen Okuo Kajuga, Geraldine Sali with MPs Michael Mawanda, Wamakuyu, Mudimi and Akamba Paul, among others, have denied the charges.
The accused persons in this case include Geraldine Salibusulwa, the former Permanent Secretary, Minister of Trade and Cooperatives, Members of Parliament Michael Mawanda, Makuya Mudimi, Paula Akamba, Ignatius Wamukuya Mudimi, Leonard Kavundira, and Advocate Julius Chiriataita Nkoko. When the accused appeared at the Anti-Corruption High Court before Judge Jenny Okuo Kajuga, court read them 9 counts of diversion of public resources of billions meant for war loss victims as compensation from the government.
That Sally Busulwa Geraldine during the financial years 2021/2022 and 2022/2023, while employed as the Permanent Secretary and assigned the role of Accounting Officer of the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, he regularly made payments to Kilian Company advocates totaling 3,868,714,611 shillings meant for Buyaka Growers Cooperative Society Limited in contravention of the Treasury Instructions of 2017.
They all reiterated their plea of not guilty to the alleged offences against them after Church Court ordered prosecution to complete with the disclosures to the defence legal team by 10th October 2024. Judge Jenny Okuo Kajuga has now fixed the main hearing of the case on 14th November 2024. However, Judge Jenny Kajuga has informed the accused of the alternative dispute resolution mechanism of plea bargain if they wish, rather than going through a full trial. After charge the accused, Michael Mawanda, Paula Akamba and lawyer Chiriataita Nkoko applied for bail by each presenting 4 to 5 sureties.
My Lord, will pray that with the presumption of innocence at the back of court's mind, with the presumption of innocence at the back of the court's mind, and the fact that these are yet allegations, to be lenient in the term. Otherwise, a harsher term, my Lord, implies as if the applicant...
Other accused persons will apply for bail tomorrow, 28th August 2024. Deborah Namamode, Viola Nansuga, UBC News.
Third Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Nakadama has announced that the cabinet will purchase land to resettle victims affected by the Kiteezi garbage slide. She noted that the land acquisition and compensation process will be carried out in stages. Nakadama made this announcement during the handover of food items and cattle worth over 100 million shillings donated by Owobusobo Zibisaka to support the affected families.
To relocate individuals affected by the Kiteezi garbage landslide and has approved purchase of land for resettlement and compensation.
We are going to compensate them with the land, those who had
who own the land here or who own the houses. And they will be given land somewhere else. And also we shall compensate those ones who did not own land but they were renting. We shall give them some money so that they can also go and get rent somewhere else.
The third Deputy Prime Minister Lukia Nakadama says government is evaluating suitable locations for settlement and will complete the process within a month.
The moment we finish buying the other land, the money is there, but just the organization. We are trying to organize because since it's a big team, you cannot just call them just at once and they go.
The Minister for Kampala, Mr. Kabanda, cautioned the affected persons not to be misled by politicians and urged them to accept government land offer.
To settle these people, what are we going to do with these people? So we have a plan which we are yet to open up to these people. One thing, we need to get a place where we are going to dump garbage because right now we still have a problem of dumping.
Lukia Nakadama and Mr. Kabanda expressed their gratitude to Obushobozi Bisaka for the support extended.
On behalf of the government of the Republic of Uganda and on behalf of His Excellency the President, we want to thank him so much for that donation. We have never received such a donation like the one he has done.
Privilege to thank Omukama Obushobozi for the donations done today, and even other donors. They have given us so many things. They have assisted us. They have done each and everything.
Bisaka expressed sympathy for the victims, saying that the tragedy prompted his outreach.
Ebyokulaga obumu omuntu bwaba mubizibu kubanga mu Buganda wano babera n'ekigambo kyabwe nti munno mukabi ye munno ddala.
The RDC for Wakiso Justin Mbabazi thanked government for its effort in assisting the victims and urged them to remain patient as they work on their resettlement.
Ngabo mumulabyeko obulamu bukyuse siwe wao. Mulabye byatwetikidde byatuleetedde agobye enjala mu Lusanja.
Police reports indicate that over 11 people are still missing. Joseph Muyingo compiled this report.
Foreign Affairs Minister General Odinga has urged Ugandan ambassadors to work towards realizing Uganda's aspirations in their areas of deployment. The minister made the appeal while officiating at a 3-day retreat for Ugandan ambassadors aimed at enhancing their representation during foreign missions.
The retreat was organized to address and rectify the negative image of Uganda in foreign countries. Minister Odinga highlighted the increasing politicization of human rights issues by foreign nations, which has impacted governance.
We must open up market linkages between NAM and G77 and China countries. And 4, we must improve investment in infrastructure, especially in energy, ICT, and transport.
During the retreat held at the Civil Service College in Jinja, Minister Odinga also noted that sanctions imposed on Ugandan leaders by foreign countries have further hindered effective governance.
Your Excellencies, here in the region and in Africa, our main preoccupation remains strengthening regional cooperation, promotion of inter- and intra-Africa trade, and ensuring peace and security.
Ambassador Kezara Mohammed stated that the retreat has been beneficial for the envoys.
We compare notes, we encourage one another, we get to know one another, and we institute corrective action where we could have been going wrong.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Vincent Waiswa, commended the Ugandan ambassadors for their efforts in promoting the country's interests abroad.
Secretary Ministry, the Permanent Secretary, Office of the President, that's Haj Yunus Kakande, has cautioned newly appointed RDCs, RSCs and their deputies against indiscipline. He also noted that the Office of the President has directed Kampala City Commissioners to address insecurity in the city.
As far as training them is concerned, we are really doing that.
President Kaguta Museveni has recently made changes in the deployment of city and district presidential representatives. The Office of the President is currently looking at orienting the new appointees before they assume office.
Bring them to those retreats, people in security, come and give them, impart them knowledge on issues of security, border security, internal security. How do they work with the district police commanders? How do they work with the responsible army who are in charge of division in the district of the army, in the regions, and battalion commanders in those areas? So they really have a lot to do.
According to Hajjins Kakande, the Permanent Secretary, Office of the President, warns that officers who will act contrary to the office principles will face punishment.
If there is any RDC or Deputy RDC or RDC or Assistant RDC who deviates from the norm of the mandate of the Office of the President, when it comes to punishment, we punish them with no mercy. And what do I mean by no mercy? By losing the job, we interdict them, we sack them.
He further emphasized that the team in Kampala metropolitan area has been tasked to address insecurity.
To consolidate the security. You have seen in town, there are some rogue young boys, 15, 17, who walk in groups and then grab people's bags, telephones, even beat them. Those ones, they are going to work with the police and ensure that that violence which people used in town, broad daylight, and even at night, does not happen again.
They will also be required to monitor rioting and protests in the city.
These issue of people organizing in those areas for demonstration and protests, this one also, we have advised them to be very, 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 very strict on that. It doesn't mean that when you have a burning issue in your area, the only way to resolve it is by going on the streets. No. Right. Go to the offices which are concerned, but don't cause chaos in the town. So with that one, we have advised them to be very serious and work with police. If need to be, work with the army and stop people who want to disturb business in the town.
The handover of the Office of the City Commissioner for Kampala is scheduled for Thursday, August 29th, 2024.
On Thursday, the Amina Rukenge will hand over to Madam Mohindo.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
State Minister for the Youth and Children Affairs, Balamba Rugahara, has advised students to prioritize their studies and hard work to ensure a prosperous future. He made the remarks while representing President Museveni at the 34th Uganda National Students Association Conference in Jinja.
Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Balamba Rugahara, has attended the 34th Uganda National Students Association WONSA Conference in Jinja City.
I want to applaud them and thank them for launching the anti-corruption campaign led by them. You know, the foundation of every nation is a family, and in a family you have children, you have parents, you have uncles and the others. So once the children say zero tolerance to corruption, the uncles must listen and the aunties. If you don't listen, these children will take you out of office. It is a matter of time they will take you out of office. So let us not participate in thuggery, let us not participate in stealing. And I've also thanked these young people for maintaining discipline as compared to their colleagues in National Youth Council.
The conference, which has attracted over 25,000 students from across the country, has witnessed the launch of this year's national debate competitions.
We have done district debates in all the 146 districts. This is only for secondary schools. We're going to have the university debates coming up also towards the end of the year. That is for our university counterparts. So we have gift that we have apportioned. We have been constrained financially because we bank on the contribution and the subscription from the parents. And that is coming through the schools. So this therefore means the winners will get some packages. There are going to be trophies and accolades for all the winning teams.
That students in
secondary schools and even students that are in the universities will start learning from this launch that we, the students, can make a difference. They will not only see that it is up to our leaders to work against corruption, but they will take it as it's the responsibility of the students to fight corruption.
Baram has represented President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni at this event.
The president is their patron. He has sent them greetings and love. He could not come because he had state duties in Nairobi. He has conveyed a special message to them to be focused, to read, to study, to respect their teachers and parents, to respect the people in society, to love their country, to be patriotic, and also to avoid participating in acts of corruption, and then also to not participate in prostitution or having sex when they are still young. He has cautioned them to study and then marry and get children.
The Uganda National Students Association serves as an umbrella organization, bringing together learners at all levels in Uganda with the aim of providing a unified voice and addressing issues affecting them.
Looking at issues of science, innovation and technology. From the small resources we have got, we are procuring laptops for the best debaters and the best runner-ups in debates. We are procuring laptops for the best public speakers and laptops for the best poet.
Outside there is that let us, to some extent, I can't blame you, but let us fight so hard together as student leaders and the current leaders to make sure that corruption dies in Uganda, so that by the time we reach 2030, corruption is no longer there, because corruption is really killing the nation.
Robert Anyango, UBC News.
The president of the Uganda Dental Officers and Technologists Association, Maxwell Ekwe, has called for strict regulation of policies in dental practice. This was during the elections and appointments for the Allied Health Professionals Council, where he was re-elected as president for the association.
Increasing public awareness and inclusion in dental care would unveil initiatives that expand dental services to health centers across the country. The president-elect of Uganda Dental Officers and Technologists Association, Maxwell Ekwe, wants all policies revisited to enable access to services.
Let's work together. Let's combine forces. But this is not just to UDAT members, but also to other associations that subscribe to Allied Health Professionals Council. We have clinical officers, we have radiologists, we have psychiatrists and physiotherapists. There are quite a number, over 30 associations. So if we put all these forces together and then we sit down and advise, make contribution, find a way to sit on a negotiating table, to advocate for welfare of our own people. And that is very key for us. So if we are able to do this, then we should be able to actually be sure of the report, of the results that are going to come positively, and the biggest winners will now be the wananchis.
Speaking after being re-elected for the second term to head the association, Ekwe says innovations will enhance accessibility and quality of dental care nationwide.
Dentistry is a broad practice. We expect inclusion, but that has not been done before. So when you realize, many people will think that dental is operating like an island, but it's also part of a health service strategies, and every Ugandan needs dental care. So for as long as you have teeth, therefore you need it. And we are now going into an era where we must be able to treat dental service delivery, just like we address the issue of HIV. We must be able to speak about dentistry. We must be able to actually sensitize the masses. We must be able to package the information in a way that a generation will come where out of 10, when you're looking for dental problems, you may actually be able to find around 2 or 3. But now the statistics says every 10 people that you will meet, at least 8 has dental cases.
The registrar for the Allied Health Professionals Council, Nyamutali Peter, underscored the councils which rotate their governing bodies every 3 years.
They are going to deliberate on issues of health workers, and then those issues are forwarded to the Minister of Health. Issues of employment, issues of internship, issues of attachments during training, issues of course, places of attachments like hospitals, issues of representation in the council. All those have to be deliberated by the members in the board, then forwarded to the council for implementation.
Representatives from the Environmental Workers Association of Uganda and the Uganda Dental Officers and Technologists Association were nominated.
We formulated the association, the board, because we want to address issues to do with dentistry, not only in Kampala, but in Uganda, because it's the most important area of medicine.
The newly elected members will forward concerns on employment, internship placements and training facilities to the Ministry of Health for action. So that Kaye, UBC News.
Much for watching. Let's take a short break. On return, we'll have business news tonight.
Uganda fire! Endiva fire! Our border fire!
Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! Has Nambole Stadium opened its doors once again?
Fire!
You were moving in wet. You were the 12th player. When Uganda Cranes needed you the most.
Fire! Get the border! Fire!
Through our famous wins against Tubakunda and our unlucky losses, you stood firm, supporting even louder.
Fire! Fire!
Now, as Uganda Cranes take on South Africa and Congo this September, South Sudan in October, and play our second legs against South Africa and Congo in November, bring even more fire! Because with your support, Uganda Cranes is unstoppable! Uganda fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda Cranes. Together, we are unstoppable.
The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, together with the International Growth Center, will host the 8th High-Level Economic Growth Forum from Thursday 29th to 30th August 2024 at Serena Hotel, Kampala, under the theme, Seizing Opportunities for Structural Transformation to Increase Productivity and Resilience. This forum will provide a platform for policymakers. Speakers will include officials from the government of Uganda, development partners, the private sector, academia within and outside Uganda, civil society, and to discuss the growth strategies that will propel Uganda to achieve inclusive and sustainable tenfold economic growth. The policy recommendations from this forum will feed into the financial year 2025-2026 National Budget Strategy. The forum will examine how Uganda can seize opportunities in tourism, mining and exports, urbanization, industrialization, manufacturing and financing options amidst the rising global interest rates, reduced capital flows, global protectionism, geopolitical tensions and risks associated with climate change. This event will be broadcast live on the Ministry of Finance digital media platforms. Physical participation is by invite only. Follow the conversation using hashtag 8EGFUG.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
For watching and welcome back from the break. It's business news tonight. Minister of State for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, has commended domestic investors for their contributions towards industrialization and job creation for the youth during a familiarization tour of the Movit production plant in Rubaga Division.
Minister Evelyn Anite has urged domestic investors to enhance their production standards and expand their markets beyond the East African community.
So don't only look at exporting your product in Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, East African market. In other words, take your product to US, to Europe, because Ugandans who are living in the diaspora want your product.
Domestic investors are calling for more favorable billings and taxation policies.
Actually do not qualify for these tax incentives because beauty and personal care was not listed, Honorable Minister. and the fact that policies are being run without our involvement, Honorable Minister, is the NDA bill, where we are being requested to start treating beauty and personal care products as drugs, Honorable Minister. This is not done in any part of Africa. Everywhere that it has even been tried, they have run back quickly to understand that cosmetics, beauty and personal care products are goods. That is why at the moment we actually sit with the Ministry of Trade. But now this change would mean that we are going to be treated as drugs. It would mean that distribution, it would mean manufacturing, everything changes completely.
We are currently in 10 countries. We plan to cover the rest in 10 years. That's the plan. And we have already mapped up the entire Africa on how we are going to tackle each and every country. As Movit, we are very good at innovation. And also, we do a thorough research to make sure that we service our customer to answer their needs.
The government has committed to supporting local businesses with favorable incentives and market linkages to boost production.
To discuss the regional integration, but among them we also discussed the tariff barriers. So within the community, we have the same taxes, but when we go into implementation, we have those hiccups that we do interface, but that does not mean that they are disregarding completely the protocols that we have signed. So when we face that hiccup, we unlock them.
Despite the crucial role of local investments in Uganda's economic development, domestic investors continue to face challenges navigating stringent procurement policies. Komagum Rogers for UBC.
The Economic Policy Research Center has organized the 12th National Forum on Agriculture and Food Security, focusing on expanding social insurance coverage to highly informal farming communities. Farmers' income remains a major obstacle to expanding social insurance coverage in developing countries like Uganda.
Uganda's agricultural sector is the backbone of the economy, with nearly all of its products contributing to the country's foreign exchange earnings. Whereas government seeks to expand social insurance coverage to self-employed workers, farmers continue to voice concerns about their income security.
I think most of the people try to shy away from formalities because of taxation. So when we roll out this, we need to be very mindful as we are sensitizing, as we are passing out the message, and see that we motivate more farmers to see that they have buy-in in the concept.
And if you look at life cycle for farmers, you see that about 57% of farmers are between 35 and 64. They are in the productive working age. They are productively working, but they're not covered in any way.
The 12th National Forum on Agriculture and Food Security centered on extending social insurance schemes to farmers and addressing unique challenges.
You've seen the numbers. Only 5 commodities, around 4 trillion shillings. Okay, only 5. But we've not gone even in high value commodities like oils. How much money is that can be mobilized to create a fund that can be helpful to farmers to make sure that they are hedged during the times of need when they grow old and so on.
Farmers, unlike salaried workers, are not entitled to contribute to social insurance arrangements because their seasonal incomes do not meet the monthly contribution requirements.
That effective mobilization of social insurance saving will require a robust institutional setup to ensure cost effectiveness. The first entry point could target agricultural value chain that already have potential farmer community buyer institutional frameworks to provide an avenue for ensuring periodic retention of farmers' savings.
The issue of income that my colleague brought up is very critical, it's very important. So then we start to look at how can we give support that should ideally be able to enhance or increase the income of the farmers. And this is where, for me, the issue of an integrated policy approach comes in.
However, while farmers are eager for transformative and affordable initiatives, they argue that their current income levels are insufficient to contribute regularly to these schemes. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
And now, in the world of sport, Ugandan national soccer team coach Paul Put has named the 28-man provisional squad to play 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against South Africa and Congo next month.
Among the 28 players summoned are three goalkeepers, Isima Watenga, Nefia Nalionzi, and Charles Lukwago. The coach summoned 11 defenders including Elvis Pomono, Bavis Mugabe, Elio Capradosi, Arnold Odong, Isaac Muleme, James Begisa, and Joseph Ochaya. The midfielders are led by team captain Kali Daucho and include Bobo Swiaruhanga, Travis Mutiaba, Saidi Mayanja, and Ronald Sechiganda. The strikers are Mohamed Shaban, Dennis Omedi, Joakia Mojera, Rogers Mato, Stephen Mukwala, Alan Okello, and new kid on the block, Calvin Kabuye. Though the squad has Kenneth Semakula and Halid Lualiwa, Coach Put explained their absence for the South African game.
We selected 28 because we have two problems with two players concerning their visa. So they will not be ready to face South Africa. It's Semakula and Halid, because they changed to another country to play and they facing difficulties. So we're expecting them for the last game against Congo.
He also explained why the nature of the international window doesn't allow his squad any friendly games.
So then you can start, and you have only 3-4 days before the game. So if you're going to play then a friendly game, you take a lot of risk for injuries.
Uganda plays South Africa away on Friday 6 September before a home game against Congo-Brazzaville on Monday 9 September. Uganda is in Group K that also includes South Sudan and will aim to be among the top two to earn a slot at the 2025 Nations Cup in Morocco.
The Uganda Primary School Sports Association Games are set to start at the hosting Pioneer Primary School in Soroti City. The championship will see competition in football, netball, handball and other games. It will also have goal ball for visually impaired kids and will feature both genders in the age brackets of under 12 and under 14. It will feature teams from more than 100 local governments, including teams from Butambala, Wakiso, Rubirizi, Kampala, Mukono, Kitgum and Kotido that have started arriving.
That today, the games in Soroti, ball games for primary schools have already started. The teams have arrived. As I talk by now, over 95 local governments are already in Soroti. We are sure there are those that are still on their way heading to Soroti, and Soroti is secure. Security is very okay. The food is there, and the places where the learners are residing are very fine. We have secured very good places for them, and the community of Soroti is very welcoming. We want to thank the people of Soroti, and want to thank the government of Uganda that they have given our children opportunity to move and tour and see what is elsewhere. We are now in Tesoland. Many of them have never reached Tesoland, therefore they are privileged to be in Teso for these games. We want to pray, thank you, and request you to pray for our games to have a better championship than even the one of East Africa that we have had today.
The Corporate Sports Network has witnessed its 6th outing at Luzira Maximum Prisons. There was action in athletics, football and netball.
Athletics provided the warmest thrills, especially the sprints, as many emulated the antics of global icons Noah Lyles and Uganda's Tassiso Rogot. By the end of the day, it was DFCU Bank, Centenary Bank and Case Hospital who were the biggest winners. Case Hospital's Francis Durani won gold in the 100 meters, with his counterpart Irene Rukundo bagging bronze in the 100 meters for women. Men's 100-meter silver medalist Henry Kayongo and ladies 200-meter gold medal winner Mary Unyifua were the toast of Centenary Bank, while DFCU's Brian Wamanya and women's 100-meter silver medalist Veronica Nansubuga were in blistering form. Hotel Africana emerged the winners in netball after defeating Dumani Orange in a closely contested final, with Uganda Civil Aviation Authority in bronze medal position after overcoming a spirited Manifest TV. In football, there were cricket scores with Centenary Bank defeating SGA Security 4-0, Lubaga Hospital whitewashing Uganda Electricity Transmission 8-0, and Crown Beverages thrashing NSSF 5-2 as Hotel Africana beat SGA Security 4-1 in some of the action.
That is 200 meters n'ekikumi kiddukiddwa abakulu abali waggulu w'emyaka 35 ekyo kiwedde bulungi era medals zaabwe zibaweereddwa. So all in all tuzo kitwala nti outing etambudde bulungi okusinziira ku nteekateeka yaffe gye twali tubaliridde.
With 23 games played in football so far, Tropical Bank leads the log with 60 points. They are followed by Uganda Revenue Authority on 58. Cipla Quality Chemicals is next and is followed by DTB Bank, while Uganda Breweries Limited is 5th on 51 points.
That brings us to the end of our first edition of News Tonight. Let's catch you at 10 p.m. with another arrangement. See you then.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Agro-Industrialization Program, AGI, is slowly beginning to have an impact that is leading to the transformation of the agriculture sector from subsistence farming into full commercial farming through enhanced production and productivity and value addition. The Agro-Industrialization Program was launched in 2020.
We have a population that is food and nutrition secure, that has registered increased income from the produce. We have also specialized in some areas. We are no longer advising farmers to grow whatever they grow.
Under the program, now in its 4th year, agriculture real GDP has continued to grow. In financial year 2022-2023, agriculture real GDP grew by 5.0 from 4.2, which was registered in financial year 2021-2022. In 2020-2021, when the program was launched, the growth was 3.5%. The growth is due largely to the increase in agriculture production. It was driven mainly by increased food production, livestock production, and the recovery in fishing activities. Agriculture value addition increased by 11% from 35,144 billion shillings in 2020 to 2021 to 39,028 billion in 2021-2022. It increased to 43,946 billion in financial year 2022-2023. Additionally, efforts have been put into reducing shortage of storage infrastructure and poor post-harvest management. As a result, post-harvest losses for priority commodities reduced by about 18.2%. The agro-industrialization program ties in well with the Parish Development Model, PDM. It is an important platform in enabling vulnerable households in the country to be supported to effectively benefit from programs like agro-industrialization. In 2022-2023, 1,058.125 billion shillings was released to district local governments by 30th June 2023 and dispersed to 10,585 savings and credit cooperatives, SACCOs. Most of them are agriculture-related and are being empowered to demand and receive services under the agro-industrialization program. Storage capacity baseline showed 550,000 metric tons exceeded the target set of 1,050,000 metric tons for 2021-2022 and achieved 1,230,000 metric tons of storage facilities in 57 districts. Under crop production, cutting-edge research and development has produced high-quality genetics and planting materials for these commodities that have helped farmers to enhance their production and productivity.
Because of issues of climate change, you need genetics which are resilient. You need seeds which will not die because of this sunshine.
The research is spearheaded by the National Agricultural Research Organization and its affiliates zonal research and development institutes around the country. For coffee, the mainstay of export revenues, the National Coffee Resources Research Institute, NACORI, has produced superior high-yielding wilt-resistant coffee varieties known as the KR varieties. These are responsible for the explosion in the coffee production which the country is witnessing today. Working with the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, 3 high-yielding disease-resistant Arabica varieties